All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back into another episode of the DAAAgenerates podcast. Episode 136. This is your co-host, Wild Bill. We're coming here live at about fucking, we'll just say 7 o'clock Monday. Football game underway in a couple minutes. Saints-Ravens should be a fucking decent one. I know a lot of people still got big fantasy implications, so best of luck to everybody. I hate waiting around. Lucky enough, Nick, you and I, we don't got anything going tonight for fantasy, but that's the worst. You just got to wait around all Sunday, all Monday, just to hopefully maybe get 13 points out of your flex spot. It's so fucking stressful.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got a lot to talk about. We got Bears, Dolphins, Astros are the World Series champs, a little bit of off-season baseball talk. Obviously, we're going to recap the rest of the week. And you know what, Nick? I'm going to fucking welcome everybody in to a victory Monday here in Chicago. I know you're asking, what, Bill? The Bears fucking lost.
Yeah, what,
I
Bill?
don't give a
The Bears
fuck.
fucking lost. What are you
I don't
talking
give a
about?
fuck. This is a victory Monday in my mind, in a lot of Bears fans' minds, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But happy victory
Well,
Monday, Bears
it's because they
fans.
covered, right?
They covered the over fucking hit. Thanks a lot,
Mm-hmm.
Bills, for blowing the parlay. You lose to the Jets.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But I mean, we'll get into it in a few minutes. But it's a fucking victory Monday for Bears fans. It might have not been a victory on the field, scoreboard wise, but we saw a lot of fucking good out of Justin Fields and that Bears team. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Before we do that, Nick, I don't want to fucking keep you hanging around. Welcome in co-host Nick Johnston. How you doing on this fucking Monday afternoon?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. Thanks for accommodating. We had a busy morning today, so yeah, like I said, a little bit later, but never always good to get the recording in. Always feel like it's one of
Oh
my
yeah.
favorite parts of the day. Like I said, had a pretty solid week 9. And then kind of putting my feet up today. I got a good fantasy win. I didn't even watch it. I was so pissed off that I went to bed at like 8:30 last night, just thinking I was in the loss column. But nope, we turn around. Thank you, Travis Kelsey. Mwah, I love you. So that was awesome. Yeah, overall pretty good. And I'm kind of in the same boat. The Bears covered. It was a fun game to watch, and like I said, we'll get into it in a little bit. But yeah, definitely one of those games where we're like, all right, you know, it's there. Something's there. Something's
Yeah.
really cooking, and we really like it. It smells good. So, yeah. I mean, we can do whatever. Did you have anything to get us started off with? Otherwise, we can just cut right into the fucking Dolphins and Bears and get into some good old fucking NFL like we usually do.
Yeah, let's fucking hop right in because there was a lot to talk about with this Bears Dolphins game. Obviously Bears lose 35-32. But a lot of fucking positive signs, man, and it all revolves around Justin Fields. I mean, I don't know what happened after that Thursday night game against the Washington Commanders, but ever since then, Justin Fields has been on an absolute tear. And again, excuse me, I got the Dane Bramage from, fucking years of football and headbutting lockers and just headbanging, listening to Slayer. I don't remember exactly when I said it, but it's how do I say this? It's like we see this as Bears fans. We have all this hope in this team and Justin Fields, and we see the potential in them. And it's like, you talk to other people who aren't Bears fans, who don't really watch the Bears, and they're like, yeah, whatever, you're the Bears, you suck. It's such like a satisfying feeling to hear from like non-Bears fans and people that don't watch Bears fans, like, yeah, Justin Fields legit. Like talking to my buddy who's a Raider fan, he's like, yeah, bro, I drafted Justin Fields in the last round of my draft, and now he's killing it for me. Or I'm talking to my other buddy who's an Eagles fan. He's like, yeah, bro, like Justin Fields is legit. So it's great to finally get that fucking satisfaction and hear it from other people and know that us as Bears fans, we're not just going crazy. We're not just going through the same shit we went through with Mitch for the last, 4.5 years, whatever it was. So, um, obviously, Justin Fields had a historic day. Only 123 yards through the air, but 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, and obviously the big day on the ground, 178 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, breaks a record held by Michael Vick for most rushing yards by a quarterback in an NFL game with 178. So this kid is just we said this going into the preseason. Like we don't have expectations. We just want to see these young guys do good. Fields obviously been balling out the last 3 weeks. Darnell Mooney had a great game, 7 catches, only 43 yards, but scored a big touchdown. Cole Kmet, fuck, where's this guy been? I mean,
Oh yeah.
we talked about it last week. Maybe bringing in his buddy Chase Claypool is going to flip that switch for Cole Kmet, and he makes 5 catches for 41 yards and gets into the touchdown. So these young guys for the Bears have been playing awesome. The defense has played like shit. That's expected though when you get rid of your 2 best defenders. But honestly, I don't give a single fuck. It was a fun game to watch. Obviously, I had a lot of fantasy going in that game with Waddle on one side, my kicker, Cairo Santos and fucking Monty. So I was and I had a little money on the over, so we were sort of rooting for both teams to score. But just to see this Bears offense put up 32 points and have multiple drives where they went, I don't know it off the top of my head, 8 plays, 10 plays, 12 plays, 75 yards, and a touchdown. And we did that multiple times, and we were consistently driving the ball down the field and scoring points, whether it's a touchdown or getting field goals. When's the last time we saw that? I've never seen it in my lifetime. So, I mean, it's just all signs are pointing up right now for this Bears offense, for the team as a whole. Yeah, Justin Fields is a fucking dog, and he is a superstar in the making. I can honestly, confidently say that uh, this guy has the makings of a varsity athlete. I mean, this I love saying that, but this guy has it all, man, and I am so excited for the potential of what can be with this guy in the future. Put some stuff around this guy, put a good receiver, a good offensive lineman, and give him a subpar defense. This Bears team is a fucking Super Bowl contender. So I've been yappering on. I'm just excited. Give me
Yeah,
your
no,
thoughts.
dude.
Give me your thoughts on the game.
Dude, this game right here, this performance right here should put all the naysayers, all the doubters to bed. Like all that should be to rest. That was one of the most special performances I've ever seen. That's the word I want to put to describe Justin Fields. Special.
Yeah.
This is going to be such. I mean, as long as we maintain this and keep him here, keep him happy and everything, there's just the ceiling's going to be just going. It just keep expanding, keep going. Right now, I even right now, you already like, wow, we see the talent. We want to set some expectations right now. Still can't do that, just considering the fact that he doesn't really have anybody. Even getting in Chase Claypool. Like right now, it'll take a couple. It'll take a probably take this week just so he gets all like everything just right or and everything. But wow, I mean, as soon as we actually get some actual tangible weapons around this kid, holy fuck! I mean, this is gonna be so awesome. Yeah, he gets 15 carries. He breaks the record with
I'm sorry.
178
I'm just
yards.
laughing right now because I don't know if you said you're watching the football game right now. Do you
Yeah.
see Adam Scheffner?
Oh my god.
Oh my
Holy fuck.
God.
That was crazy. Yeah, for anyone that didn't see that or anyone that did, he did this. He just dressed up like Kirk Cousins the other day, and that's going
Oh,
around right now. Kirk Cousins with his
dressed up,
chains
more
on.
like dressed down. He's fucking bare skinned. He's got about 30 fucking chains. He looks like Eloy Jimenez out there.
Yeah.
God damn, he's doing his little his little imitation. That is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, yeah, I'm just looking around. We can't. I again can't be upset. I'm not. The Bears realistically shouldn't have been in this game, and I know
No,
the
not at all.
Dolphins adding Bradley Chubb. They're not. That defense isn't going to become the Legion of Boom overnight with one acquisition. It's just not realistic. So it did make sense that the Bears were moving. The Bears have been moving the ball with this offense. Just as you said, they just pulled their head out of their ass from that Commanders game. They slapped the shit, and they've just been scoring points and scoring points and scoring points. Considering
Yeah,
that,
and even in that game, like they were moving the ball, they just couldn't
yeah,
convert. I mean, they had the 2 drives that they got
it was
stuffed
that,
inside the
and then
5 yard
just
line, and
Claypool,
yeah,
welcome to Chicago. You're not going to get any more fucking PIs against you. It just doesn't happen. The
yeah, what a
Bears just don't
terrible
get.
call at the
Yeah,
end.
that was absolute horseshit. Considering that, if you look, I mean, I was watching that game because I was going up against Waddle and I had to fucking clench my asshole every time he caught a pass. So it was just one of those games. And just they get their play action, their pass interference calls on them, and there's not even contact made to the point, and then it's just the guy's draped all over Chase Claypool. He's getting his arm dragged down, and then the other guy just jumps on his back, and there's just no call. And it's just it's frustrating. It's just eventually I would hope something flips our way, and that could have decided the game right there, if not put us in overtime and just put us in a better decision. But I can't live in the world of what ifs. I will live in the world of this was still a great performance, whether you see it or not as a win or a loss. Yeah, if you want to count it like that, then yeah, they lost, but it was still fun to
Yeah.
watch. Justin Fields again, that was just such a great special performance. Again, that won't be duplicated for a long time until he does it again, until Justin Fields does it again. He's everything. I probably said this before. He's everything that they wanted Trey Lance to be, and we got him for exactly what we did. So I love it. Again, just this is just the Justin Fields appreciation show at this point. Love everything he's doing. I mean, he's helping out. I guess even with Chase Claypool not showing up, he was able to help Darnell Mooney get 7 passes for 43 a score. Cole Kmet got open. Maybe, yeah, you said maybe that did give him a boost of confidence. He got 2 scores on the day. Just it was really fun. Like I said, Miami does have a pretty shit defense, so it's expected. It was expected that we were gonna see some high scoring out of this. This was one of the hammer plays that I came up with, or that I mentioned the other week. So hammered the over. That was awesome, but yeah, either way, good performances all around. If you want to linger on the fact that Montgomery and Herbert didn't have a good game, it's because fucking Fields had all the rushing. Again, 15
Yeah.
carries. He averaged like almost 12 yards a carry, which is fun, which is awesome. So can't rely on that every single game. I'll say that. But again, this is a great performance, and it's because he didn't turn the ball over. Again, that's just one of a very good signs of if we have this talent and they're not turning the ball over. Just imagine when we actually get something good. So let's again look forward into the free agency or the drafting pool for a wide receiver. Overall, just again this game it's just tough. I mean, you got Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill to sit there. Even when we have our defense, that's a challenge for an actual defense, like the Bills or the
Yeah.
fucking or the
Speaking of defense,
Buccaneers.
there's Roquan Smith dressed up in the fucking Ravens. We're number 18, which you talked
Yeah,
about. That's weird to see.
yeah. We don't.
I
I
just hate
don't.
seeing linebackers wearing fucking. If you're not wearing 40 or 50, it just looks weird. I know I'm old school boomer mentality, I guess, just not used to it yet. We will
Yeah.
be. I mean, fuck, I'm still calling the Commanders the fucking Redskins. So, um,
I still like the football
yeah,
team. That one's
yeah,
what I
right,
go with.
right when you get used to the football team, boom, we're gonna switch it again. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was an exciting game. We were talking about this watching the fucking games yesterday, and we couldn't think of anybody like, or actually, sorry, one guy came up with something, and of course, it's our good buddy, fucking Uncle Joe, who likes to argue with everything. We were talking, and I think he was just salty because he was playing against Tyreek Hill in fantasy yesterday. He's like, "How the fuck do you let this guy get wide open every single time?" And we're like, Uncle Joe, there is not a human being walking this earth right now that can cover Tyreek Hill one on one. Like, if there's defenses can try and scheme to slow him down, maybe with some safety help over top, double teaming him. Even then, like he's too quick, he's too speedy, he's gonna fucking get open. Uh, I know you're gonna agree with me. And of course he's like, no, I think uh what was that fucking safety's name on
Ed
the guy who
Reed.
just no, he's active right now. He's on the Bills, but he hasn't played yet.
Oh,
Tre'Davious White or whatever. He's like
he thinks
Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White's
Yeah,
gonna
he's like
shut
he's like
down
Tre'Davious
Tyreek
White would
Hill.
lock down Tyreek Hill one on one, and
I
we're all just
mean,
laughing at him yesterday. So there's
no.
not a guy who's gonna there's not a guy who's gonna cover Tyreek
Maybe
Hill one on one.
Jalen Ramsey, but in his prime, not now. Like you would
Yeah,
need, yeah, and it would have to be like one of those games. Like that's just, yeah, no one's, and again, consistently every single time, you're gonna get burnt at least half the time. Like there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's faster than everybody. It's just how that works.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous to sit there and say Javius White. And again, like a guy that's hurt, like you're gonna bank on that guy. And now, yeah, no, it's a bad leg to stand on for
Yeah,
that
that's just
argument.
one of those Uncle Joe fucking takes, him.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh yeah. Uh I was talking to one of my buddies, Cole. He lives down in Indiana, but he's been a lifelong Dolphins fan. He went to the Bears game yesterday. And we were just messaging, talking over Facebook before the game. I said, you know what? Good luck getting out of that fucking stadium. You might get lost. And we were talking before the game, talking after the game. And he's a proud sports fan. He's a fucking diehard Dolphins fan. He has been for years. And like I said, just like a couple minutes ago, we're talking after the game, and he's like, "Man, I ain't gonna lie, Justin Fields is a stud. I was worried about that fucking game, and just going back to like hearing that from
Yeah.
other fan bases and
No,
other
that's
people
awesome. That's
as
so like
Bears
it's
fans,
exciting.
it's like okay, maybe we're actually a good team for once. So,
Yeah. No, just
yeah, shout out.
reassuring that you're not talking out of your ass when we're actually
Exactly,
talking about a
exactly.
guy that we like. That no, it's like that's exactly like as you said. It's reassuring. It's what we want to hear. It makes it just seem real and seems legit. And like, yeah, I mean, it's not a lie. We're not sitting here lying to you every single time when we say Justin Fields is going to be a problem and fucking, I mean, a problem for a good reason. He's going to give other teams the fits and he's just going to fuck other teams up. It's just going to give them, it's just good. It's a good confidence booster on our end. It should be. And if Justin Fields actually heard that or some shit, I'm like, yeah, again, it's just awesome to hear. It's fun, really fun to hear. I mean, that's other things need to get better. Obviously, the defense is now the forefront, like a big fucking ow, wow, wow. Like, oh fuck, we need something. We have nobody right now at intern. I mean, Eddie Jackson, I guess, and excuse me, brick. No, I'm a
Pritzker.
brisker. Okay, yeah. See, it's a little late. I'm gonna forget names right now. So yeah, it's going to be the big owie. Maybe that's probably what we focus on in the first round and maybe go second round wide receiver, something like that. But, just we'll be looking forward to shit like that. Did you ever anything else on the Dolphins and Bears? I know obviously we'll have, oh, geez, what do the Bears have next? I don't even remember.
Bears have the Lions next week.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Bears
That's
got the
gonna be
Lions
so
in
much
Chicago.
fun. Oh, that's maybe another over. I'll take that. I would love that. Depending on the weather, but yeah, we'll see how that one goes too. Yeah, like I said, anything else on Dolphins Bears?
No, that pretty much wraps it up. It was a fun game. Came down to the fucking end. Last drive, obviously the bullshit no call on Chase Claypool sort of, ruined everything there at the end. But just the fact that the Bears are in games, they're hanging around, they're putting up points against good teams too. I mean,
Yeah.
the Dolphins, they're one of the I'd say one of the top three, top four teams in the AFC for sure this season, putting up 29 points on a great Dallas defense the week before. It's just promising, man. All signs are pointing up right now.
Hey, yeah,
The
I
future's
think
bright. The
I
future is
think
bright for Bears fans.
that'll happen. I think along the line, maybe just a little bit sooner rather than later. Maybe Las Vegas is going to start respecting the Bears. I hope not. I hope the Bears still continue to get these big numbers so they can cover. But I mean, they if you paid attention, they had opened up at 5, and then as the morning was progressing, Sunday morning right before kickoff, it was at right around 4. So a full point. Sometimes that can obviously be the whole difference in whether you make your fucking bet or not. So that's pretty impressive that they were able to make that little swing at the end. Like I said, not humongous, but maybe a little bit of respect on the Bears' name. Maybe not in line for all these fucking blowouts all of a sudden. Like I said, so that's gonna be good when we actually get fucking we are just weapons on both sides of the ball. It's gonna be fun. It's safe to say we fucking found our QB. It's just being. I know we've said that we've established that a couple years now, or a couple weeks ago, but I think it's there's no hot seat. There's no question like that anymore. It's like, oh, is it going to be Justin Fields? Is it this or that? Do we have to worry about this no more? No, it's Fields is
Yeah,
set locked in for the next, in my mind, the next 10 to 15 years. I mean, it's like that in my mind. So unless there's something just catastrophic to the point where fucking feelings are hurt and there's just relationships cannot be, bridges are completely burnt in the front office on these players, there's no reason why Justin Fields shouldn't be here in the Bears ring of honor in fucking 30 years or whatever. So keep him here, keep him happy, give him off, give him weapons. You don't
get them
want to see
off.
him. What? I didn't
You
say
said you
that.
want to get Justin Fields. I'll do it for a ring.
I think that I think
I'll suck it
I
up.
think your brain was manifesting what I didn't say. So I
I'll
think
suck one up
you
for it.
there
Give
you
me the ring.
go.
Give me two parades. I'll fucking
What I
you
wanted
don't
to
want to know what I'll
say
do.
was keep him here, keep him happy, give him weapons, unlike fuckhead over in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers,
Oh,
who
dude.
I think that's a good transition into
Yeah,
the
definitely is.
other games that we liked on the week. Some huge upsets, a lot of home underdogs covering, not only covering but just winning outright. And like I said, a big one right here. Packers winning an ugly one, beyond ugly, 15-9 is the final on that one. Uh, I mean, floor is yours. I want to hear just you fucking badmouth
Yeah, I
stupid
mean
Aaron Rodgers.
that's why I gave him an F last week. F is for fuck Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely atrocious day. Three interceptions against a dog shit
Not
fucking
only dog
Lions
shit, the
defense.
worst defense
Exactly.
ranked in the league. Worst statistically in every single fucking category. They're bad. And
Yeah, I
he
mean,
just decided to hand them the ball 3 times on
yeah,
in the red zone. All of these.
dude, and the one was a fucking tackle eligible tackle screen pass to David Bakhtiari. It was like a
Oh my
play action.
god.
Yeah, they had David Bakhtiari tackle eligible on the left
And
side,
he's
and they
back to being
ran.
questionable. I don't know if you
He's a
saw that.
fucking
He's
Momo
done.
anyway. He's fucking hang him up. You fuck. Go make a fucking podcast with Taylor Lewan in a fucking trailer. You fucking washed up, overrated, long hair hippie. The fucking highlight of your fucking career was chugging a beer at a Milwaukee Bucks game. So get
How
a
you
fucking
doing?
haircut. And yeah, he's a fucking bum too. I can't wait until Elgin Jenkins is a fucking bear next year. He's fucking 27. He's going to want a big contract. I say the Bears give him fucking 6 years, fucking 87 mil, 60 guaranteed, and lock that dude up at right tackle for the Bears for the future. I can't
Yeah.
fucking wait. I seen it now. But anyway, yeah, just to see the downfall of the Green Bay Packers, right as we get all these arrows pointing up for the fucking Bears. It's the complete opposite for the fucking Packers. So it's a bad day when your leading rusher is Aaron Rodgers with 40
Oh,
yards. So
oh
I
my
mean
God.
that
Yeah.
offense, when they have won and when they have looked good on the year, it's been because of Aaron Jones. And I guess you can
He did go out in
spelling
that
him
game. He got an ankle injury, but I think
good.
well, unfortunately, he's going to be back and healthy. That's not going to be an issue. They just ruled him
No,
out
he's
during the
not.
game. All right.
No,
Yeah.
he's not.
Whatever.
And then there was also that rumor, and this is what I heard. There was the rumor fucking the Packers were interested in trading for Darren Waller. I think that was a great move not getting him because Darren Waller just being around that pillhead fucking Aaron Rodgers, seeing the bottles of perks in his fucking locker.
Oh, yeah. Would have
Probably would have
re-triggered some old
yeah,
habits. Oh,
probably
yeah.
would have drove Darren Waller to do some scary things, and that's the last thing we want to see a young, uh, you know, explosive tight end like Darren Waller. I know he's been banged up this season, that hamstring injury, but I mean, when he's on, he's on. He's top three tight end. You put him in that Packers atmosphere with those drug addicts and those criminals and those just overall bad people. Can't even
Yeah.
call your mother Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
Yeah, it wouldn't have been good for fucking Darren Waller. So I'm glad that fucking trade never went through.
yeah. It was also for that. Yeah, the rumor was for Darren Waller. They also aggressively went for Chase Claypool again. Nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo. The Bears got him. Suck a bag of dicks. I mean, apparently it was basically for the same
The
amount of
same pick, yeah.
same trade, same pick. I mean, I think the Packers might have even offered him another fifth round or something like that, unless I looked at the wrong article or something like that. But yeah, that sucks to suck, and I think you'll probably get your wish for that offensive lineman Elgin Jenkins, because it doesn't seem like the Packers have any sort of wish to pay anyone anytime soon that wasn't Aaron Rodgers. And again, yeah, all signs pointing downward. Little Wayne went ahead and tweeted,
Oh, how funny was that?
yeah, give up on we should basically the season's done. Should have got rid of 12 before the season started. It's a tough look. It's a tough look when
Yeah, Wheezy F baby. That F is for fuck Aaron
yeah,
Rodgers.
when a guy that drinks lean all fucking day and he has no fucking brain cells left is telling you that you suck and you shouldn't have a job and you're ruining football for him. Again, tough look. That's a tough one to swallow. So
Okay, I gotta ask you, Lil Wayne, Mount Rushmore of rappers. Would you put him up there?
uh me
He's
personally,
questionable as like a fourth,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't be upset if someone would argue for him
right?
to be
Oh
up
yeah, I'm in the
there.
same boat. I'm
I,
in the
I'm
same
sure
boat.
I'm sure he's inspired not just what his music, but just I mean just to go on Lil Wayne, I guess. Just I'm sure that he has inspired a bunch of other rappers. So I mean that just if you want to throw that on there for that reason, I'm sure that's why. Just for him and his music. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I
I'm not gonna,
completely agree. If someone threw him in that four spot, I'd be like, you know what? That's perfectly respectable. And
yeah,
honestly, in my personal top four rappers, I'd probably put him up there just because that's we fucking grew up on Wheezy, you know?
yeah,
And then,
yeah,
that's in him and fucking Kanye. And, even though Kanye and fucking him and Irving are hating on the Jews right now, give the Jews a break. They've been through fucking enough.
yeah.
Grew up on fucking Wheezy. But anyway, for him to say that shit about Aaron Rodgers. It was for I stole someone's tweet. Wheezy F baby, and the F is for fuck Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, that was hilarious to see him fucking tweet that. But yeah, the Packers, put up 9 points against the Tigers or against the fucking Lions. Embarrassing. I can't wait to fucking play the Packers, dude. I'm
Yeah.
making a triple batch of the big shots. You heard
Oh
it here
yes.
first. I've been waiting for the fucking, maybe a primetime game. I was thinking about it week one. We're saving it for fucking Bears Packers it's this one's gonna be in Chicago, right?
Yeah, yeah,
This
because
next
yeah,
game.
yeah,
Okay, so there you go. Bears Packers in Chicago. The execution of fucking Aaron Rodgers. We're getting a fucking triple batch of the pig shots.
yeah. No, I felt like again, if all signs are pointing in this direction of they just keep losing games, that this should have been a get right game for the Packers, and if they had
Right,
any sort
honestly.
of sense of being just having any sort of hope, this was going to be the game to win.
Yeah,
They're
and
fucked.
honestly,
They're
the
done.
Packers are fucked. The run of games they're going on. They got the Cowboys, the Titans, the Eagles, the Bears, the Rams, the Dolphins,
You could
the
argue that every
Vikings.
single one of
So
those could be losses. Like at this
yeah,
point, there's no
honestly.
guaranteed win for the Packers anymore, and I love that.
Oh,
It's
love it.
music to my ears. Yeah, they play
Love
again. They
it.
play the Eagles. We were talking about maybe that's going to be one of those games where the Eagles could drop, and I'm sure the way that they were looking like against the Texans, maybe that is the game that they do, but. That doesn't seem like a big issue anymore for them. Again, you just named out the Cowboys. Cowboys are full go. I mean, that offense is ready to roll. You said the Dolphins were in there too for
Yeah, they got the
them.
Dolphins in there. They got the Rams who
Same
haven't been
thing.
playing the
The
great.
Ravens, the Rams not in the same boat, haven't been playing great, but you could argue that if you got Cooper Cup going up against them, I would still go with the Rams. I mean,
Yeah, I hope
it's just
I
like how
hope
that
Aaron
goes.
Donald fucking tombstone pile drives Aaron Rodgers into the ground, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, how fucking
I,
awesome.
I mean, essentially, the Ram. I'm not maybe a transition of this game if you want to talk about it at all. The Rams played the Buccaneers. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention all too much in that one, but if the Rams were kind of able to keep up in a slow moving Buccaneers team, Buccaneers offense that has all their weapons, Mike Evans, who he got popped and he didn't go out for a couple drives or whatever, just a couple plays or whatever, but everyone's healthy besides Russell Gage on the Buccaneers offense. So if the Rams come in with that same energy against the Packers, it could be a win. It could be a win right there. I
Yeah,
mean,
I,
that's
I
just
definitely think so. And I mean,
yeah.
transitioning to that Buccaneers Rams game, that was an ugly one.
Oh,
That was a fun. I unfortunately watched this entire game.
that was a
I
fucking you're
mean,
bringing your cousin to the prom type game. That was
yeah,
ugly.
that game was fucking brutal. 16-13. They win it on a fucking last second final drive. Tom Brady gets them all the way down. Pass interference in the end zone. And then they find rookie tight end Cade Otton. for the go ahead game winning touchdown.
That
Only
helps
only
no
thing
one.
only thing I have out of this game, and again, we always find out this stuff afterward. Unfortunately, Cade Otton's mom had recently passed away, and that was his first career
Anytime
touchdown.
touchdown
So
would have been what, plus
exactly,
1,000 for this fucking guy.
exactly.
God lamn it, son of
Exactly. So you
it's
always like to hear
ridiculous.
stories like that. We heard it with Dawson Knox a couple weeks ago after his brother passed away, and now we get it with Cabe Otten or
Yeah,
Cade. Yeah, there's a D in there.
I wish them
Cade
well.
Otten. Yeah, exactly. Always like to hear good, heartwarming stories like that.
Yeah,
It always happens. It always happens. We saw it a couple of years. My favorite one of all time, and I'll never forget it. And I don't know why I was watching this game. It was like a Tuesday night, but I was watching the Red Sox and the Oakland Athletics, and it was right after Stephen Piscotty's mom passed away
oh
of like
yeah,
breast cancer. And his first at bat, first pitch, he fucking hit a moonshot over the Green Monster, and
yeah.
that's
There's
just
that
we
one, and
love moments like
there's
that.
that one, and I'm gonna butcher this one. The 49ers receiver either returned a kickoff return on like the very first play, or like a kickoff or a punt return, or he just caught a really long touchdown, and he celebrated by like cradling it because
Oh
his
yeah,
newborn had just passed away. Unfortunately, it
yeah, I
was
remember that.
one of, yeah, just one of those, like, and you think about that and you get a little, halfway choked up about it. It's just
Yeah,
unfortunate, but just, yeah, it's just one of those. Just
yeah, makes for great stories.
yeah, a little bit, yeah, but yeah, that's an ugly one with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Rams. Can you even say that what gets right? Yeah, I don't even know if you
I
can
don't know.
after that
I
one.
guess yeah, because it's a win. But
Yeah,
maybe you do need those ugly wins sometimes, maybe to kick you in the fucking ass and be like, okay, we played like dog shit and we just beat the Super Bowl champions. Imagine what we're doing when we're clicking and when we're healthy and we're playing on all cylinders. So
yeah, I think
I
that can
guess I
help.
guess I guess you can call that a get right game for
Yeah, and unless I
the
misheard
Bucks.
it, it must have. I think it was 100. They said 122 degrees in Tampa at that time. I
Jesus.
could have misheard. I again. So if the heat was a factor, that makes total fucking sense why no one was really able to move, and probably everyone was tired as shit, because that sounds awful. But again, I could be wrong. I don't really remember entirely. Yeah, if you were good on that, another fucking upset, a big one right here.
Don't
Jets
even.
Bills.
Don't even.
Yeah,
Don't
Jets Bills.
even.
No, I mean it ruined every parlay in the world.
Fuck.
It was bullshit. It's absolute shit.
Oh.
I don't know what Stefan. I guess Stefan Diggs was shut down by Sauce Gardner, another big one. And I mean, it's just, yeah, I don't know. That's Stefan Diggs. Yeah, I got him on my team. I think he had like five. All of his points were basically in the first half. I also just heard something about Josh Allen having some sort of elbow discomfort now. They were looking at a couple of nerves in his elbow. So Josh
Yeah,
Allen,
they're
fantasy
thinking
owners.
maybe Tommy John.
Oh, really? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
just it's the UCL or PCL or whatever the ligament is in your elbow, and that's basically what the pitchers have, and rightfully so. I mean, Josh Allen, he has the fucking hardest fucking, yeah, how do you say it? He's got the biggest arm in the league. I mean, that dude throws fucking ropes. And I watched his one video and someone was sort of breaking down his technique. I mean, he's all arms. He doesn't put any momentum, no hips, no
Oh, that's
rotation into his
bad.
throws. He's like all arm, and that's just he came up on that last drive, threw the ball that was short to Diggs, and he immediately grabs his elbow, starts shaking it out. I don't. It could be. I hope obviously nothing's wrong because this Bills
Yeah.
team, great team, fun team to watch, Super Bowl favorites, and I got Josh Allen and Diggs in fantasy, but that has nothing to do with it. I mean, I
Yeah.
want to see
No.
the kid healthy.
Yeah. No.
Um,
You
on the
always want to
last
see
play of the
good
game,
football being
exactly.
played. I mean,
On
that's
the
just,
last play of the game, he did fucking air it out, and it was like a 60-yard fucking heave. It was like 4th and 20. He just heaved it up like fucking 50, 60 yards. So hopefully those tests come back negative on that elbow,
yeah, I hope so.
because we don't want to see that guy out for any length of time.
Yeah. That would be very unfortunate. But yeah, just going back to the game in general, I don't really, can't really think of any crazy standout performances. I think Michael Carter might have had a decent game. I think he got in the end zone maybe a time or two. Zach Wilson, probably, I don't think, again, really didn't do anything crazy. James Robinson scored his first touchdown as a Jet. So welcome to there. It was cool to see if you were watching Red Zone. They went to oh my goodness, I'm trying to remember who was James Robinson was just on the
Jags.
Jags, and then Travis. So Travis Etienne Jr. had just scored a touchdown, and then they panned right to James Robinson scoring a touchdown, basically
Oh,
within
that's neat.
a minute of each other on opposite games. So that was actually pretty cool for them. And sure enough, Scott Hansen was able to make a comment and like, oh yeah, former teammates were scoring basically within the same couple minutes of each other. How neat.
Yeah.
Very neat indeed. Uh, but yeah, just not a good one. That was a bad one for the Bills to drop. They obviously, they're still very good. That the loss is hearing the Josh Allen news, not so good. But if you're a Jets fan, the kid that had the prediction with his quarter, I don't know if you saw that. He did one of those things that was popular last year. He's 9-0 on doing his heads and tails for the Jets.
No,
Uh,
I haven't.
yeah, so up until now, he's perfect. I think they have their bye week this week, and then coming up, they have the New England Patriots again. He's predicted a loss there. He predicted a loss to the Bears, and then they went out up until the last week. I think they play Miami or something like that. He has them losing in the AFC Championship to who? I don't know. He just has the Jets losing. So if you're one of
Jeez.
those guys where you just bet, you don't do any fucking any sort of research like that, you just go off of crazy stories like that. Take the Jets to win and take them to go into the AFC Championship if you can do something like that. There
Yeah.
you go. That's
You know,
all that shit
I
right
will
there.
say one thing. Just sort of watch. I had this game propped up on the phone for fantasy reasons. I really truly believe that this Garrett Wilson, this rookie wide receiver for the Jets,
Oh yeah, that was actually yeah, that's a good point. Go ahead.
he's for real. I think he has the talent to be a fucking top wide receiver. Maybe like I don't think he'll be in that level of Diggs, Jefferson, Chase, Devontae Adams, but he'll be in like that scary Terry talk.
Yeah, no,
I think that's a great comparison.
that's a good point. He's gonna shine definitely where others won't, but it's just because he's talented and then like they're I think they're like the 26th ranked passing offense. So the fact that he was able to have like an 8 reception, 112-yard type game is pretty cool. I mean, that's
Yeah.
probably I can understand why Elijah Moore is upset because he's a talented guy, and if you get a shitty quarterback. I mean, that's just what you could say at this point. It's just no ifs, ands, or but about Zach Wilson right now. He's a shitty
Yeah,
quarterback. He's a
he even
bad
came out
quarterback.
earlier today in an interview. He said, "I don't care about stats. I just care about wins." And
There's
you're right. At the
that.
end of the day, you're at the end of the day, that's all that matters is wins. But that just sort of also admits like
Yeah.
maybe you're not the best quarterback.
I mean, it was that. And did you hear his other soundbite about him? He's like, oh, I hate throwing the ball away. But you
No,
need to
what?
do that. Like,
Yeah, you need to do that sometimes.
yeah, like you need. Oh, I think it looks like Andy Dalton just got picked off right now.
Yeah, great.
Like fucking Zach Wilson. Like that's. I mean, I understand. Yeah, there's that one game you had to throw it away 15 times. Three of those ended up getting picked off because you're just such a bad quarterback. But yeah, I can. Yeah, that's just a part of the game, dude. Throw it away and not take a sack. Like, would you? I guess you'd rather get sacked. I know you'd rather throw the ball and have a completed pass, but you ain't that guy, pal. It's just how it goes. Just you're Zach Wilson. You're not Brett Favre. You're not fucking Tom Brady. You're not just not those guys. So it's just how it goes.
Hey, you're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy, pal. Maybe he's just not that guy, pal of the week.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson though, he's got the makings of a varsity athlete.
Yes, yeah, he does. Some pretty good
Tell me
talent
it
on
was a
that
pick
Jets offense.
six.
It
Oh
was not.
no.
It was
Damn
not.
it, I
It was
got the
just a
Ravens defense starting in a league.
Oh,
I'm down 20
doesn't
though.
look like it was
Fuck.
anything. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like the Saints have the ball
Oh
back.
yeah,
I
they
don't.
called it a pass interference.
Oh, that's
Damn it.
bogus.
I'm down
Uh,
20 and I need the Ravens to fucking put up 20, which probably ain't happening. So
Yikes. All righty.
fuck.
Yeah, looking really quick. Seahawks Cardinals. If you had to really comment on that, it just seemed like again, and just in the realm, talking in the realms of underdogs, they're 2-point underdogs. But you were saying go ahead, take the 2 points. But I was on the opposite. They were one of my best bets for the Cardinals. But damn, I mean, they just don't show up at. I mean, it doesn't seem like they show up at all in the first quarter, first half. Really, they just like getting out. They just love letting teams fucking get big leads on them. They can come back. They have 3 wins, but this should be a flip flop. The Seahawks should be 3-6, and the Seahawks should be 6-3, and the Cardinals should be 6-3. This is bizarro world Black Mirror type things that we're living in, where Kyler Murray's still putting up he's just putting up some good fantasy points and whatnot, but only 175 yards through the air, two touchdowns, 60 yards on the ground. Uh, I don't know. Is it really him? I don't really know if it's him. It's just that defense is just atrocious. Like it's a really bad team. I know they got
Yeah,
the pick
it's
six.
atrocious, and they can't protect him. Like
Yeah,
he's
that
just
too.
getting sacked left and right. And
He
for a
had
mobile
5 sacks on
quarterback
the
who
game.
he should be getting out of some of those situations just with his feet, and the fact that he's not is just. I mean, you can't name a
That's where the
fucking
blame
pass
would
rusher on
fall
the
on him
Seahawks.
not being able to get out of the scramble. But yeah, again, he's not really getting any help necessarily. Zach Ertz is very good. DeAndre Hopkins, he speaks for himself. He's a phenomenal wide receiver. But beyond that, I mean, you're gonna get some okay games out of Rondale Moore, but trading for Robbie Anderson at this point has been a non-factor. His first catch was this. He just got it this week, and it was for -4 yards. So apparently that's not helping at all. So yeah, I don't know. Again, there's a ton of red flags on that Cardinals team. A bunch of things that need to be figured out. But yeah, on the flip side, again, just looking at the Seahawks, they're again full go.
Oh,
Just Geno
dude.
Smith is having a nice little season. DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett seem locked in. I mean, it's just how it is. And while their defense isn't great, their offense can just keep up and actually fucking score points. So that's been awesome. And this emergence of, we already talked about it maybe last week or the week before, Kenneth Walker has just been he's been phenomenal. So I mean, another
Yeah,
score,
yeah.
another
I
hit,
sort
two
of
scores on the ground. So good for him.
I really quick want to just check in on this Ravens game. Roquan just made back-to-back huge plays on second and third down to stuff them. Second and one, third and one. We're gonna miss that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's gonna suck. But whatever. Yeah, it's just this fucking Seahawks team. They're finding ways to win. They're exciting. Geno Smith is absolutely balling out. And then, like you said, Kenneth Walker. He's gonna be a league winner. He's gonna be that Amon St. Brown and Rashad Penny for guys last year. Maybe it's just a Seahawks running back thing. I don't know.
He could definitely be that. Yeah.
But he's gonna be a league winner for a lot of fucking people. I mean, 26 carries. That's like you wouldn't think that.
That's
If you're
Derrick Henry
thinking
type. That's
exactly,
Derrick
you're
Henry. I mean,
thinking
Damian
like
Pierce is getting the same type of shit too. I mean,
exactly, you're
it's
thinking like
nuts.
Seahawks versus Cardinals. They're gonna be throwing it a lot. No, I mean 26 fucking carries for Kenneth Walker in that game. They found something special with him,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just uh, everything's falling apart for the
Yeah.
Cardinals. This Hard Knocks is going to be amazing to watch.
Oh yeah. You keep saying that.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
it
I'm
is. I'm
getting more and more.
excited.
I'm
Like
getting more and more excited about it too.
I've never
Yeah.
been excited for a Hard Knocks before, and this one, I mean, hey,
This is gonna have some
Kyler's
good
0-2.
sound bites. Oh
Kyler is
man.
0-2 since Call of Duty has been released. So that's
God
all.
damn it.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I'm sure someone somewhere is gonna blow up. I mean, we're either gonna get a crazy speech from Kyler or Hopkins or someone crazy on the defensive line or something like that. It's gonna be definitely meme worthy. It's gonna be
You know what
awesome.
I can't wait for? You remember in the Hard Knocks with the Lions where it cut to Aiden Hutchinson at his house and with his sisters and his babe
Yeah.
of a mom were sort of just hanging out in the backyard. I can't wait for like, oh, they're working out and the defense is in the weight room and then it just cuts to Kyler Murray's house and he's in his basement playing Call of Duty or something like that.
Yeah.
How then that would
They
break
will
the
they will
fucking
edit
internet,
that.
dude.
It'll be so
Oh my
funny.
God. He's
They'll
sitting
be,
in a fucking big ass recliner that's like 3 times too big for him. He's got shades over all the windows. He's got his fucking
he
turtle
just sits
beaches
there
in.
his feet are dangling like he's got his headset on. He's
He's
fucking
got
bitching and
fucking half
moaning.
eaten fucking bags of Doritos all over the floor with the double XP fucking
Yeah, and
scratched off.
like you said, with their editing magic, they're either gonna shoot to their like his teammates working out, or he's gonna say something on the field like, "Damn man, we aren't focusing enough," and then it's gonna shoot to him playing video games like a fucking Family Guy episode or some
Yeah.
shit like that. So yeah, that's this again. These Hard Knocks episodes are gonna write themselves with these Cardinals guys just blowing leads left and right. Now, I mean, not even leads. I mean, they're just not even getting out to leads. They said something crazy in the beginning, like 78% of their drives are like they've been down. They've been trying to
Wow.
come back or something like that. It was something like that. Again, I hear these things go on during red zone, and there's just so much going on. There's so much analytics, and they're just bouncing around from game to game. I forgot what's said where. So it's something ridiculous like that. If you can be like, okay, that sounds it's close. Just if you can say like it's close, I'll leave it at that. If you had anything more on that, there was 3 games. I'm not going to get into all 3 of them, but there were 3 games that were 17-7 during the noon time, and then they all end 20-17 all in regulation. So I thought that was pretty cool. Uh, what was it? It was the Vikings Commanders. Vikings coming back on that one, looking like it actually looked like the Commanders were going to take that one basically the entire time. Chargers Falcons again ending on a game-winning field goal from the Chargers kicker. And there was one more that was in that same realm. Oh yeah, Jets Bills. That was the again that ends 20-17 as well. Not in the favor of us, but still pretty cool, still pretty good. Little docket. Last little game I had here. I didn't have too much on this, but excuse me. Other than the fact that the Raiders come out. Not even maybe the Raiders. Just Devontae Adams shows up, scores a bunch of points, and they proceed to just let the Jags slowly sneak in and ultimately win this game. You have anything on the Raiders other than the fact that they're done?
Yeah, they're done. We're sitting over there and we're sort of keeping an eye on Red Zone and our fantasy football apps. And our buddy, former co-host Tim pulls out his phone. He's like, "There's something wrong with the fucking fantasy app right now." I'm like, "Why? What's going on?" He's like, "Devontae Adams has like 30 something points." And I was like, "Yeah, it's probably a glitch." And then not even 5 seconds later, here comes fucking Devontae Adams, 2 touchdowns on fucking Red Zone. They show him, and we're like, "Oh, it ain't no fucking glitch." But
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty apparent that he is all that they have on offense. I mean, he has 10
I
receptions.
think their first drive was similar to like how the Vikings treated Justin Jefferson. He got like 4 or 5 catches and he caught the opening touchdown. So I mean on a
Yeah.
big one too. So yeah, he had a monster game. Just it just sucks when you put up such a big performance like that, not only just in fantasy, but just actually statistically. You had a monster fucking game and just you don't get the W for it. So it's just I guess it would be a bittersweet feeling for Devontae Adams having that personally that big game, but just not getting that W in the end. Just I don't know. That's a tough one. That's I would hate to be in that position. That just sucks.
Yeah. That's just offense, defense, coaching. They can't figure anything out right now. I mean, it's just a mess.
Yeah, definitely. And then it just I guess on the flip side, give the Jags their flowers. They just never stayed out of it. They were down, just not out. They kept fighting, they kept punching up, and sure enough, they were able to. I don't know. Travis Etienne's just like I said last year. He's not last year, last week. He's a fucking monster. He's going to put up a big game. He's just locked in at that point in your fantasy lineup where he's just going to get 15 to 20 points, and that's just how it's going to be. So he's gonna get the usage. He's their core guy. Besides, I know Christian Kirk is emerging as again, like we said, go ahead and prove it. Prove that you're actually going to be worth his contract. He's doing it. He's worth his
Yeah, he
contract. He's worth
is.
the money. And Evan Ingram's helping too. He still gets his mandatory 1 to 2 drops per game because that's just how Evan Ingram has been since he joined the league. But he's scoring. He's actually moving the ball. He's a positive on that offense. So if that continues, I'm not going to say anything crazy that's going to come out of the future for the Jags anytime soon. But they'll be better sooner rather than later. Right
Yeah, and
now,
I
we were
definitely
just
agree
saying,
with
yeah,
with
we
that
were just saying how
offense.
Trevor.
Yeah, next season.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that offense next season can be exciting. We named all those names, and they just traded for Calvin Ridley, obviously,
Yeah, he
last
pre-ordered them.
week.
Yeah,
So that they pre-ordered him, they put him on layaway.
yeah.
That's gonna be a fun offense next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just has to be. We were kind of fucking with, or kind of farting around with it, and just saying like, is he the guy? But yeah, Trevor Lawrence just kind of has to figure it out. He's still, in my mind, he's still not. I mean, he kind of has to be. He should be, but it's just that the door of him being legit is still open. That argument of it's like, all right, is he the guy? I don't know. He still needs to put up some big performances. So I'm not gonna sit here and say he's dog ass, but yeah, I'd rather have Trevor Lawrence over a couple of the guys in the league, but I'll still take Justin Fields over anybody right now. So that's uh that's
Oh yeah,
that's
Justin
about it in my
Fields
mind.
all
Yeah.
over everybody. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
one quick thing on a game you did mention, and talking about the Vikings Commanders. Um, it was looking really bleak for the Vikings there in the middle of that game, and we talked about it last week. Who is the top dog in the NFC right now? Is it the Vikings? Is it the Eagles? It might, maybe, could be the Buccaneers when it's all said and done. And Eagles sort of in the same boat on Thursday night as the Vikings. They come out on the road, didn't have the greatest first half. But for the Vikings, I think I say Vikings especially against a good team, a Washington team that's scrappy, backup quarterback,
That's the best way to
finding
describe them.
exactly,
Scrappy. They
exactly.
just
They're
know how to win with the
yeah,
personnel that they have. That's
exactly.
maybe just a tip of the cap to Ron Rivera, just knowing his guys.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah,
Riverboat Ron Bear, great. Had that team sitting at 4-4, and I think that's like an ultimate trap game right there if you're the Vikings, and it started to look like that. But for them to sort of put their big boy pants on, get a couple big defensive stops, and find a way to win that game late, with I think a Greg Joseph field goal towards the
yeah,
end. That's absolutely huge, and that's what you want to see out of these top
yeah.
teams, these contending teams. And
Again, you
I
can't
know the
live it. Oh,
Eagles, the
good.
Eagles definitely sort of did it. The Eagles, played a shitty game, shitty first half, and then they sort of pulled away second half. Against definitely, a worse fucking team in the Texans. But for the Vikings to do this on the road against a good team, a well coached, scrappy team like I was about to say the football team, against the Commanders. I think that's a very impressive and a very important win. And obviously, they celebrated afterwards with what's his name, Kirk Cousins on the
Yeah.
fucking plane, no shirt.
You like
Isaiah
that?
Likely, you like, yeah, I like you like that on three, 1, 2, 3. That
You
was
like that? Yeah.
hilarious. Isaiah Likely gets into the fucking end zone. I know a
Yes,
lot
he
of people
does.
starting him this week in fantasy with no Mark Andrews. But yeah, Vikings 2017, that comeback win on the road, that's absolutely huge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in this weird boat where I guess I threw it out there. I threw it out there when we were doing the midterm grades. Prove me wrong, Vikings. Make me think that you're actually worth your 7-1 record right now. They're kind of getting there. It just you can look at it, their argument like, oh, they let the Detroit Lions, they only beat them by 4. They only beat and they only beat the whatever. Their only really good game was week 1 against the Packers, I suppose, where they kind of shut them out and blew them out. Their only losses to the completely the undefeated Eagles, so that looks pretty good. But you can, yeah, again, you can live in the argument like, oh, they let these shitty teams beat them the majority of the time and then they come back and win. But you gotta recognize that, like, oh, they were able to turn their shit around and get the win in the end. So yeah, I guess they're not blowing teams out anytime soon and whatnot. They do need that really big blowout game against a really big competitor. They can't keep winning these 4 or 5 point, these 3 4 point games against teams that aren't going to be in the playoffs. That's just not how it's not how winning teams are. They got to play who they're going up against their schedule, but I don't know. I'm kind of in that realm where they can convince me. There's gonna need to be that big 35-3 victory over a big name. It's just gonna have to be something like that, and it's just I don't know if their Vikings defense is poised for it. They're definitely ready for big plays. Obviously, like you said, they were able to get that interception, and that led to getting Delvin Cook the game tying touchdown, and then eventually, yeah, Greg Joseph gets in there for the game winning field goal. And I think there was that other play where Kirk Cousins actually goes down, and you could argue like, oh,
Yeah. Nick
uh,
Mullins of all people
yeah,
came
Nick
in the
Mullen
game.
has to come in. Does Nick Mullen's not going to make the play? Does Kirk Cousins still being in that play? Does he make the touchdown then? I don't know. You can't live in that world of what ifs. So, uh, yeah, I guess like I said, I guess I'm not going to be a diehard Vikings believer, but I am in the realm of, all right, they can maybe make some noise. They're not going to get completely embarrassed
Yeah.
They can show up. Are they gonna win everything? No, I don't see that. They have some talent, obviously. Delvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. We talk about that every fucking week when these guys go off. But I don't know. Again, I guess I'm still in that realm of need some more proving, but I'm kind of on your side, Vikings. You're
Yeah,
getting
I sort of am too. And you talk about getting that big win. This week, a lot of questions around Josh Allen, but they play the Bills in Buffalo, and then next week they're home against the Cowboys. Two pretty good teams, and obviously you want to beat the Bills
Yeah.
full
If they can
healthy. You
keep it
want to
close
beat
with the
them with Josh
Bills and
Allen.
beat the
Yeah.
Cowboys, then that proves it to me. If they can do both, if they can beat if they can beat the Bills and beat the Cowboys, that answers that right there. But like I said,
Yeah,
if they can cover,
they gotta beat a Josh Allen led
yeah,
Cowboys.
exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, Josh Allen led Bills.
Josh Allen Bills. Sorry. And a
Yeah.
Cooper Rush led Cowboys. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, get Dak back out of there. Now he's been having some pretty good games too.
But yeah,
Uh
these are two big fans, and obviously being Bears fans, I've never had any hate towards the Vikings or the
yeah, no.
Lions to be any
No.
fact. So the
Just the
fact that
Packers.
exactly, fuck the Packers, but to see this team doing well, they're definitely exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
Jay Jetta, I love doing the gritty, or at least trying to do the gritty every time he scores. I could do the top half of the gritty. From the
Yes. I
waist
think
up, the
everybody
gritty
else,
is
I think
spot
everyone
on.
can.
From the waist down, you might have to
Mm.
fucking cut off the screen at
Yeah,
that
do the
point.
sense
But
like a big sensor bar, like yeah, if you're fucking
yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
just blur that
exposed.
out. Just blur it out.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
these next 2 weeks for the Vikings, Bills, Cowboys, and then they got the Patriots, but then they got the Jets after that. A bit of feisty little teams. So
I saw one. I don't know, maybe some other people, and maybe it was like NFL memes or something like that.
is
It
that
was an
Jamie Foxx?
I don't know. It was an old lady doing the gritty, like how obviously she can't move. She's like 90 years old, and she's doing it really shitty. And the caption was just every white tight end after they score a touchdown.
Bill
Like
Kralis after Jefferson makes a catch for his fantasy team. Yeah, that's honestly
exactly.
me. I'll time
Absolutely.
out. Just going back, number 10 on the Ravens, it might be Jamie Foxx.
No.
I don't know. Just from an angle, I don't know who number 10 is. That looked like fucking Jamie Foxx for a second.
I
So
I
maybe he gave up acting and picked up
yeah,
foosball. I don't know.
couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Didn't get his face. Didn't see him. Last little thing I see on the NFL. Not any more games unless you had anything else on that. Just the only thing I got here. I don't think we went over it. Colts firing Frank Reich and then hiring Jeff Saturday as interim head coach for the meantime. Any really thoughts on that? We were kind of watching something just right before we went on to record. Just I don't know, just a bunch of people are going left and right in this Colts organization. It looks like Jim Irsay just ready for a full on change in personnel. I think he was just on First Take this morning explaining that they just fired like one of their offensive coordinators a week ago or something like that, just shut down Matt Ryan 2 weeks ago, and now they're firing Frank Reich today. So a lot of personnel changes, a lot of crazy things. You got people saying this, that, and the other. You can't blame. I don't think I'm going to blame Jim Irsay. Maybe you can argue. Maybe you can argue. Or excuse me, Jim Irsay. I'm not going to blame Frank Reich for anything really that's going crazy. I'm sure he had some help in the in fucking the team over a little bit. I guess they're kind of pointing at him for getting interest in Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz, but I don't know, just having six quarterbacks over the last 6 years, having Sam Ellinger today.
And three of them being washed up bums.
Exactly. And then just not having a fully healthy Jonathan Taylor this year, not having a fully healthy defense. There's been spots all over the place on that on the other side of the ball. I can't sit here and blame Frank Reich. Really, it's just a sinking ship, and I guess you got to fire the guy that's leading the helm. But
Yeah.
it's a tough look. He's gonna be hired soon in some organization sometime soon. I'm sure that's
Oh,
gonna be
100% he'll
yeah.
have another job coming
Yeah.
next season
So
for sure.
again, yeah, that's not gonna hurt him in any sort of way. This right now, it's just yeah, I guess you gotta let him go. But for anyone that's saying it's his fault entirely, I guess in my mind hasn't been watching NFL football this year at all. So or just the Colts in general. So I'll turn it to you if you have anything
Yeah,
on that.
that's
Go
just
ahead.
how it is in the NFL. When a team's struggling, when an organization ain't winning, first guy to go is the coach. It's the coach and the general manager. Usually, one of those two are the first ones to go. And I get it. They're playing like shit, but it ain't all his fault. Like you said, that team, offensively, defensively have played god awful all season. I mean, the hell, they just put up 3 points against the Patriots this week. So, they got a lot more issues than just the head coach. And like we just said a minute ago, Frank Reich will have a job. Probably not this season, but I think he'll have a head coaching job somewhere in the NFL, if not definitely a coordinator job in the NFL come kickoff next season. So that sort of shows that it isn't fucking Frank Reich's fault. It's just the whole team over there. They, like you said, the rotating door of quarterbacks. Your running back, your star running back can't stay healthy. Your defense, your defense is non-existent.
Yeah. You paid
It's
these
it's a
offensive
lot of
linemen and
things.
they just underperformed so far this year. It's just
Yeah.
it's a piling list of all these different things just going wrong all at the same time. Yeah, just tying your opening week and shit like that. Just it's not good. We were I mean, I'm sure we can go back to our recordings. We were probably saying it's a toss up between the Titans and the Colts to win this division. I hope my 3 months ago self picked the Titans to win the division. I hope my dumbass didn't say, "Oh, we'll go with
Yeah,
the
I think
Colts."
I
Uh,
think my dumbass picked the Colts. I
I'm
definitely did.
yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure we're probably both leaning towards that. But either way, it's just like I mean, it's just showed you. It's just like everything was pointing in the right direction for that team. Even now, you could probably say I'm kind of sitting in that boat. If you took Jonathan Taylor 1-1, you're kind of pissed off about your fantasy team. Possibly, it's just people didn't stay
Yeah, pissed
healthy.
off, but for the wrong
I
reasons. It's
know,
not
yeah,
like
no,
he's not
I'm not. Yeah,
performing.
no,
He's just hurt.
yeah, no, it was honestly good on him when he did sit out the other week or two when he said he probably could have went, but he said that like I know my body, I wasn't 100%. I don't want to go, so I'm like. I gotta respect that. I gotta sit as a just man to man. I have to respect that. If you understand that, I don't want you to get hurt. That's just how it is. But yeah, just
The only guy we want
everything
to
on
get hurt is
paper.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, absolutely. And just
Yeah.
everything on paper for the Colts just pointed in the direction that they were probably going to run away with this division. It just hasn't gone the right way. Nothing has really gone right for this team. You can't really, other than a couple individual performances here and there, maybe a couple of good games, getting their couple. I mean, they got the win over the Chiefs, but even now that you can't even sit here and go home about that one anymore. It's just it was just a shit game all around, shit season again, I will be in the same boat of blame Frank Reich. Absolutely not. Blame the entire just piling up problems that have been reoccurring over this
Yeah.
past year for them. And again, yeah, just point to the fact that they've had again 6 quarterbacks in 6 years or something like that. So just absolutely terrible. And I'll just pile it on right now. If you're looking at Stephen A's opinion of it's Frank Reich's problem, that's kind of what it always inspires me bringing up some issues like this. Uh, he was the same guy that said it's justifiable to boo Andrew Luck as he was leaving the Colts. So bad move. Of course, we always talk about the shitty, awful, fucking terrible takes that Stephen A talks about every single day on his show. So it's always fun to bring up. Always just put the light on some really bad takes. But all around, yeah, can't blame Frank Reich. Do you have anything else from NFL this past week? Did you have anything on any more news in general before we move into? We got some. The Astros won the World Series. Got a couple free agents, and we'll finish it off like we usually do with a little wrestling.
Yeah, football news. I think we just about hit everything.
Yeah, yeah. We'll
Another
be
good
obviously,
week.
yeah, yeah. We'll be
Yeah, another good week in the book. Week 10 uh, coming up. Bears got the Lions. I think a very fucking winnable game at home. We'll break that down in 137.
oh yeah.
A good docket, a good fucking slate of games. I actually think for week 10. Obviously, would have been a good game if Russ actually knew what he was doing with the Broncos Titans.
Did you see
But
that
we're
one
gonna
going
get.
around where there's like another tough one for the Broncos? It was their bye week 2017. I was like, oh Jesus, this guy can't catch a break.
Oh
Fucking A.
Jesus.
Uh
Oh God.
that
Yeah, they're
obviously
just
that's nothing new. That's not a new joke. You always used to see that with the Jets when they were like 0-13. The Cleveland Browns, same thing. Like, oh, they lost to their bye week 35-10. Like, oh geez. Like, yeah, it's a bad team. We get it. It's a funny joke to do. Just yeah. Yeah, like you said, I didn't really look at it too much either, but yeah, pretty good slate of games. I don't even know. Maybe it's always a
We
good
got
one when you know
Viking.
the
We got
Thursday night
Vikings
game.
Bills. I think a surprising game that I'm actually excited for Sunday. Browns Dolphins. I mean, the Browns have
Wow,
been a
yeah.
feisty fucking team at some points, and the Dolphins they've looked good offensively, but I think that Browns
Ugh.
offense, that run game, might move the ball on that Dolphins defense.
And
So
you know what? I mean, the Falcons Panthers was actually pretty good on a Sunday. It's now we're gonna look at it and say the exact same thing and be like, oh, maybe it'll be good on a Thursday. It's probably gonna be really bad on a Thursday night. But Seahawks Buccaneers, Vikings Bills, Lions Bears. I'm gonna take a couple of these overs, baby. Then you get to
yeah, I think
Broncos
Chargers
Titans.
Niners is going to be, Sunday night game. Chargers Niners, that's going to be a fucking awesome
Oh
game to
yeah,
watch.
that's gonna
This
be
Chargers
fun.
team, they're figuring out how to win games without their superstars. Obviously, they pull off the 2017 win this week, going into San Francisco, off a bye week. McCaffrey, he's got everything fucking up, down, left, and right in that fucking playbook. He's got it. He's got it down packed by now. That's going to be an awesome game on Sunday Night Football. San
Yeah.
Francisco 7-point favorites in that one. I don't know. I don't know about
Yeah, that could
that.
be a little tricky. I can understand just with the abundance of injury. Maybe you have to watch out. Maybe finally looking for Keenan Allen to come back, but not gonna have Mike Williams. Obviously, God, I'm gonna try not to use the word obviously all the fucking time, but yeah, you have Austin Eckler in there, Justin Herbert, getting hopefully he's all healthy and ready to roll and not making any poor decisions or anything like that. But yeah, that was a weird one. Chargers and Falcons actually being as close as it was. This is probably a lot of Chargers fans, if there are any, they were probably thinking this one's like, all right, let's get right, let's get going. The Falcons are okay at decently moving the ball. They got Cordell Patterson back, which that guy is just he every time he touches the ball, he must. I feel like he heard me talking shit about him not being able to redo what he did last year. And he's just like every time he just scores the touchdown, it's like fuck you, Nick. I'm like God, I feel like fuck, like fuck. All right. Obviously, he doesn't say that, but I feel like that's what happens. I feel like he just heard it. But either way, I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. We got some pretty good games coming up next week, next Sunday, so that ought to be fun. Even Texans Giants. No, I'm just kidding. That sounds terrible. And, obviously, yeah, no, just all around. I felt like this week was kind of on the lower end of tier games, but I think a good bounce back if you want to look at it in that end. Week 10 looking pretty good. We'll preview Bears Lions 137, like you said, getting into all the games that we're gonna be looking forward to. But that if that good enough for you, that wraps up NFL on my end. We
Yeah.
can get into
Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up.
some MLB. Astros winning the World Series, taking them in 6 games. What was the final score in that last one? 3 to I don't know, 4 to
4-1. 4 to
yeah,
1.
4-1. Schwarber the only one that showed up for the Phillies in that last one. I don't know. It kind of seems like that series may have been done after that, after the no hitter. That it could have been another one. The game after was a very winnable one, and then a game 6 could have been a very winnable one for the Phillies. But ultimately on paper, the better team won. Yeah, I mean you could sit there and argue like that, but they were the favorites for a reason. From top to bottom, they were just better. You could argue that 3, 4 more guys that are probably battling to be on this roster could have been on there and doing the exact same thing for this Astros team. So all in all, from the offensive lineup to just the bullpen, the starting lineup, the starting pitchers, everything was cooking. You could have put anyone in there, but congratulations to Dusty Baker for finally getting his first. Somebody he kind of does deserve it. I'm sure you'll get it. You'll get in on him in a little bit as well. But hey, like I said, with that amount of talent, they breezed through everybody. They didn't get their first loss till game 1 of the World Series. You could I think he said it himself in the first series with the Mariners. He's like, I didn't do shit. I made a lineup card, I posted it, I signed my name next to it so it could be legit, and I just let these guys go. So I mean, when you have a team like that, oh, again, you can call them cheaters, call them whatever. They got it done. They were just beyond dominant. They blew through fucking teams, no problem. Yeah, sure enough, they had a couple losses here and there against the Phillies, but no one's gonna be perfect. Uh, I guess congrats to. I just want to only congratulate Dusty Baker and Trey Mancini, kind of like what you did on your little thing. So shout out to them. They kind of deserve it, but the Astros, they might just be a problem. I'm not gonna sit here and say they'll repeat, but just there's gonna need to be some sort of huge uptick in another team to come ahead and take them down. So right now, that was one of the most dominant performances in the postseason we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was an absolutely dominant performance. Happy for Dusty Baker. I mean, he's been there twice before, once with the Giants, once with the Astros in 2021. Couldn't get it done either time. Finally gets that elusive ring. I think he's 72, 73 years old. Um, he's going to go down as one of the best managers of our generation, of our era, if not of all time. He's up there with all time wins as a manager, so he definitely deserves that ring. And then, like you said, Trey Mancini, happy for that guy, gets traded right at the deadline from Baltimore. Obviously, all the shit he had to go through with the testicular cancer, never knew if he was going to play baseball again. You had that little heartwarming scene there when he got traded and he came back to Baltimore, and it was a little emotional there. Obviously, that city meant a lot to him. And to see him, as a champion, starting and producing on that team, winning a ring, feel good for him. And you know what? We sit here as baseball fans, we talk shit, rightfully so, about the Cheat Stros and what they did with the trash cans, but they deserve this one. Like they deserve this one.
Yeah, there was no one better than them. You could sit here
Yeah,
and
that
maybe
other
argue the
one,
Dodgers, but I
yeah,
mean they took it. They were, like you said,
yeah,
just to blow through them like
that
they
other
did.
one, that
But
other ring they got, they'll always
yeah,
be an asterisk next to this one. But unless something comes out a year or two or whatever from now that they
yeah.
somehow were cheating again, like you said it perfectly. This was one of the most dominating postseason,
the
runs of all
the
time.
writing was on the
So
walls when Jose Altuve didn't have a hit until their fifth game, until maybe his 25th at
yeah, they
bat.
ain't cheating if that
Like,
dude didn't have no
yeah,
hits.
I mean, it just goes to show you that everyone was ready to go. I mean, Justin Verlander, Lance McCullers, I'm gonna forget the Garcia. I mean, I think those were the other starting pitchers
Yeah, I
going
can't
right
remember. I
now.
can't remember his name.
I mean, they throw the combined no hitter. It was they were just ready to roll. They were better than everybody else when you're able to just sweep the Yankees. And I again, you can't sit here in hindsight and say it was going to be them from the get go, but they were the heavy favorite in just about every category except for maybe the first round. I think that was your best odds to get them to win the World Series at maybe like plus 300. Everything after
Yeah.
that was like minus 170, and probably by the time or minus 125, and by the time you got into the World Series, probably minus 170 or something like that. So yeah, no one should have been surprised by this. Everyone should have been surprised by the fact that the Phillies were in there and being just as close as they were. Again, with those last two games, 100% winnable. They just, I don't know, maybe could have turned to a couple small, but maybe some small ball. That's what I've been hearing from from Phillies fans and Phillies podcasts and shit like that of what could have happened, what should they have done. Ultimately, just guys like Nick Castellanos didn't really show up. Brandon Marsh, young, just hasn't been in that spot. He's 24 years old. He's a rookie, making a couple boneheaded mistakes in game 5 or game 6 whenever he was missing those defensive plays early on, turning singles into almost triples, shit like that. When you make errors like that, that could be the end of the game, end of the series ultimately when decisions are made, when shit like happens like that. Like I said, it really only seemed. I mean, there's nothing you. Bryce Harper did everything. He did everything that he could. You can't sit there and harp on him. Same thing with Kyle Schwarber. He showed up. He smacked the fuck out of those home run balls. Like he actually played. You tip your cap to him a week ago or two about his just good enough play on the defensive side so that he's not just a DH every single time. He's out there in left field. He's
Yeah.
performing and he's performing well enough. And it's just yeah, it's a bummer when a guy like you said, like I just said, Nick Castellanos didn't really show up. Marsh didn't do anything, and Reese Hoskins, I think he had a golden sombrero in Game 5 or Game 4. You can't strike out 3 or 4 times. I think he had the bases loaded multiple times, and then just other times, when the Phillies had like guys on, but with 2 outs, like these late rallies just aren't going to get it done. I see it. We used to see it all the time with the White Sox. That's how they just didn't win ball games this year. They would get rallies, but with 2 outs and with Josh Harrison coming up to bat with 2 fucking outs and 2 guys on, not what you want to see. It's just very unfortunate for the Phillies if you are a Phillies fan. Of course, we were rooting them for over here on the DAAAgenerates podcast over for our number one super fan, Troy. Obviously, he's our Bryce Harper guy on that. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, I actually got a call from him. I'll be able to play that in a little bit as well. And yeah, just like I said, super unfortunate on that end, but just ultimately pretty good baseball all in general. Got some pretty good performances, some fun things. And of course, like we said, the second no hitter in the World Series history.
Yeah.
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 So I
Second, I think that was the second. I think both of them were combined no hitters, they said too. So,
no, I know there was a
yeah.
perfect game in like the 50s, something like that they said. But yeah, either way, that's still fun to watch, still pretty cool. Hopefully you chimed in on that when Sports Center said, "Hey, only 3 more outs until can they get this no hitter?" Well, we'll see about that. So either then, yeah, it's not good, not great that the Astros win. It's kind of getting in that same realm. You don't like the same guys winning all the time, but when it is this dominant, it just like, well, what are you gonna do? It just they were just the better fucking team. So
Yeah.
again, tip your cap and do whatever you want to do. But we, like I said, we shouted out the guys that we already like to do. So that was pretty good. But with the end of the season, end of the World Series, what do we do now? You're like if you're like Michael Scott sitting at the fucking playground, just sitting on the teeter totter, or you're on the swings, just kicking your feet in the sand. You're like, what do I do now? Well, today they just dropped a bunch of free agents, and everyone else is already dropping people off their teams. I know the Dodgers went ahead and they dumped Craig Kimbrell, Clayton Kershaw, Joey Gallo. I've seen Carlos Rodon from the San Francisco Giants going to be available. Carlos Correa is going to be available. Already some juicy big names going to be set ready to roll. I'm going to be wanting to sign their name on the dotted line for a new contract. Hopefully somewhere else. Hopefully in Chicago. Any of those names sparking your interest, or maybe another name that I didn't get to? Maybe.
Yeah, I think the biggest name, going right now, I guess maybe not the biggest name, but just sitting over here as a Cubs fan, it just made official actually a little earlier today. Anthony Rizzo did opt out of his contract with the Yankees, so he's going to be a free agent.
I'm sorry.
Bring
Who was
Rizzo
that?
home. Anthony
Oh,
Rizzo, the
Rizzo. Okay, I'm
Italian,
sorry.
the
So I
fucking
was
Italian.
sorry. On the flip side, I just saw Xander Bogaerts from the Red Sox also going to be a big name available. Yeah, just a lot of good. Yeah, they're thinking Xander Bogaerts to the Braves. That would be
Oh,
crazy. Oh my
jeez.
god. Yeah. Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
there are some big names out there. I'm just interested in starting pitching. There are huge names out there: Rodon, Kershaw, Jacob DeGrom, Nathan Eovaldi, Chris Bassett, Tyler Anderson, Verlander. He's got a player option. I expect him to pick that back up with the Astros, so he'll probably place. He'll probably stay over there. Jose
Yeah.
Quintana, Jameson Tyone. There are a lot of big name starting pitchers. And as a Cubs fan, that's sort of what I want to target. Go out there and probably find ourselves that next ace, sort of like we did with fucking John Lester a couple years back. Go out and pay that starting pitching. We don't got too many prospects. The Cubs have never been. I mean, our best starting pitching prospect is Dylan Cease, and he's not on the Cubs anymore. So,
Thank you.
like we got to go out there and we got to pay one of these starting pitchers. So,
Ooh, Dansby
um,
Swanson going to be
yeah,
available as
there's a big
well. Oh
list. I mean,
my.
JD Martinez, Aaron Judge, Mitch Haniger, Brandon Nimmo, Kevin Kiermaier, who I think
Chris
is the
Bassett,
best,
I'm seeing right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
And it
best
says this is
defensive
oh, this must be from a
outfielder in
couple days
baseball.
ago. Yeah, it says Edwin Diaz, but he re-signed for 5 years with the Mets. It says I think it says Tim Anderson, but he just re-signed earlier. They picked up his option, the White Sox. So anyone worrying about that on the White Sox side, don't be. Tim Anderson
Huh.
back again for another year. I also heard rumor that the White Sox might actually be interested in re-signing Jose Abreu. Hopefully that little thing with him,
Yeah, I
you
think it's
know,
just a perfect fit. Like
yeah, I don't know.
he's
He
got to
needs to.
stay.
Yeah,
He's the
absolutely.
captain of that team. He's been, last couple of years, obviously wins the MVP. He's top three in the league in hits this season.
Yeah.
He belongs over there.
He was up there in average. I know it's on the low end. We're almost, winning, having a 306 average, almost won you the batting title this year. But yeah, he's right there. He leads like you just said, leading the team in hits. He was, nothing too crazy on the power numbers, but he was right there with Andrew Vaughn leading the team in home runs, leading the team in RBIs without a doubt. Just he needs to be there. He needs to be on the team. To sit here and say that the Sox would be better without him, it's
Is
crazy.
insane.
Crazier things have happened where, Bryce Harper leaves the Nationals and they win a World Series. It's just, I'm not going to sit here and say that would happen, but, I could see the opportunity of, Gavin Sheets and Andrew Vaughn getting almost 150, 200 more at bats with a Jose Abreu gone. That could be beneficial, but only if they produce. But if he's not, if he's just there, he should just be there. Jose Abreu, we already know where we're gonna get it with Jose Abreu, with like 30 home runs and 100 RBIs. So that's just the fuck. If that's the floor with what we're gonna get with a guy like that, re-sign him for the next 20 fucking years. I mean, that's just should be it. And he's a vacuum at first base, so there's nothing gets by him. So
Yeah.
that's just how it is. Yeah. Well, I'm sure, like I said, this was just, hopefully, sorry to turn this into the Jose Abreu suck fest, but need him there definitely. A ton of other names like I just ran through, like uh Andrew Benintendi, that'd be cool. Kenley Jansen, sure. Andrew Heaney, why not? Zach Eflin, I don't know. These are some good names that anyone can name, throw together, and actually have some solid guys. But we'll just
Yeah.
see how it unfolds as the time goes. But yeah, just like I said, just I guess the big one was the Clayton. In my mind, just Clayton Kershaw. The Dodgers willingly able to just dump him. I don't know if they were just doing that just to be able to re-sign him in some sort of capacity, but that was one of those guys like, damn, Kershaw is going to be a Dodger for life. I don't know, that one was crazy to me. I know he's been hurt. He hasn't been playing basically all year, but again, just in my mind, he was going to be a Dodger for life. Anything on that?
Yeah, I can't really imagine Clayton Kershaw in another jersey other than,
Yeah,
that iconic white and blue Dodger jersey. Hell, I mean, I think this is the year of the shortstop in free agency. I'm going to be excited to see where Turner, Correa, however the fuck Xander
yeah.
Bogarts, whatever you say, and
Oh,
Dansby Swanson go, because those are going to be some fucking four of the best shortstops in the game right now, all free agents. Exciting time for those two guys or
yeah.
those four. They're going to be getting paid.
Yeah, that's very exciting. Very, very exciting. Yeah, we'll always be looking forward to that. I'm sure. I don't even know. Those will probably have to be like after the winter meetings when everyone can start signing and doing all that type of stuff, right? Sometime after like
Yeah,
January, some
yeah.
shit. So yeah, I mean that's all. It's just always so. It's any sort of free agency whenever that clock gets going. That's just always fun to just get the alerts, the Adam Schefter or the who on MLB covers that. I don't even know who throws out those type of things, but either way, just hearing the da when something acquisition
Buster
happens.
Olney.
Oh,
Subscribe to him on uh Twitter.
okay.
Put those notifications on for
Oh, for
baseball if
sure.
you're looking
Okay.
for it.
Yeah. The only thing I think I have for notifications is Will It Dong. That's the only
Will
one
it, dog?
yeah, that's the only one I
Ooh,
got.
scary hit there, but he's okay.
Yeah, when he flipped the guy that just, oh, you
Oh,
must
that
be
landed
behind
on his
me.
head.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I'm a
flipped
little
over.
behind.
Yeah.
Landed on his fucking head. I thought he was done.
Yeah, I'm watching on the cable box right now. I got the exact same time. So that's just how it is. Yeah, if you're good on little MLB, we can just wrap it up with a little wrestling. I got just not really a story, kind of just our opinion. If we wanted to give it on just the idea of CM Punk really being gone out of AEW, and like I said, nothing's for certain, nothing's written on the wall that it's a first like a for sure yes, he's gone, but seeing seeing the promos of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks coming back, that showing that, signs that again, I'll even backtrack a couple of other weeks ago. Dave Meltzer coming out and saying that the internal investigation of what happened at All Out, the fight between the Young Bucks, Kenny, Ace Steel, and CM Punk had come to a close. They've basically wrapped it up and said, essentially that whatever happened. They're just gonna kind of figure it out and whatever. But ultimately, no one really suspensions were given out, and that's just going to be the end of it. It's just going to be a matter of hopefully CM Punk doesn't want to take his ball and go home. And if they're looking at it in that light, I hope he doesn't get bought out of his contract. I want him to keep working with AEW. But unfortunately, if they can't see fit, I can understand. It's unfortunate. I don't like it in any sort of way. I don't like Tony Khan relying on the three guys that we've already seen before, when you can just get one guy, and he's already shown that he can outsell all three of those guys. And that ultimately is a lot of argument of why people are, just a little bit upset at the Young Bucks and the Omega in general. It's just kind of why I'm a little pissed off. It's just some people think that CM Punk being there exposed the elite, that just not being able to draw money, not being able to draw houses, not being able to draw in that target audience that you need on a weekly basis. It's just not the niche audience, that Cucamonga crowd that the Young Bucks kept bringing back every single week, here in and here out. It wasn't doing anything, and you can kind of see. I don't know if the big change happened when they were gone, or if it was when Cody was gone. But I felt like as soon as they left with their suspension, or again, it could have just been when Cody took his time away from doing all the booking. Gone were the days of all those 8-man tags, 10-man tags, constantly needing to broadcast all these fucking teams that no one gives a shit about, just because the elite had friends and needed to showcase them. It's just yeah, and again, that just showed in my mind. And then here comes CM Punk. You're getting these great performances from just promos. Those were drawing in more numbers than these 10-man tags, probably, when it came down to numbers and viewership by minute. So yeah, you can argue in both senses that, yeah, CM Punk's an ass wipe and he's going to take his ball and go home, and this looks bad on his end. But you got to look at it, and you look at it in the bigger picture sense that, he can't win. He can't win anymore, because everyone's just going to be on the elite side no matter what. And it sucks. It really sucks. So if this is for certain that CM Punk is going to get bought out, no longer be a part of AEW, it's going to pain me to see if there's any sort of rumors and shucking and jiving that he's going to go to WWE again. That just sounds so idiotic, considering the fact that the guy that is now running WWE, Triple H, is the reason why, essentially one of the core reasons why CM Punk left the wrestling industry in the beginning. Him not being able to get a WrestleMania main event because of Triple H and Vince McMahon, him not being able to, really showcase anything or do anything that he wanted to do, always getting buried because of Triple H. Yeah, him going to WWE, yeah, he should definitely go to WWE now. That's a very good reason. So
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
see that. Like
I
if
don't see that in the cards. But yeah, again, that's just very bad. I'll let you get to it. But yeah, like I said,
yeah,
just not a good light. Go ahead. Go
my
ahead.
thoughts on it, like you said it perfectly. If something is crazy as not WWE, as CM Punk going back to AEW after burning all the bridges that he burned there, if that is like if that can happen, why can't Tony Khan and the Elite and CM Punk and Ace fuck whatever his name is
Yeah.
can sit in a fucking room and hash out their fucking problems like men? Like, is that really is and I know you're the fucking super fan here when it comes to wrestling, but like are these all of
That
those guys? Are their
again, that
egos
just
that
goes back to
fucking
the argument
shattered to like
that's the elite. That's how they roll. There's
that's
nothing that you
insane
can
to
do with
think like
them. I
It's insane to think that these five, six handful of guys, whatever, can't just sit down in a locked fucking room and yell and bitch and complain and get all their fucking issues out of there and move forward. Because god damn it, how fucking insane would it be after all this shit a year from now, a year and a half from now, a fucking Kenny Omega CM Punk fucking all out
yeah,
evolution, whatever fucking big pay-per-view match, or we get FTR and CM Punk against the fucking elite. Like there have been worse things
yeah.
that have happened in the wrestling world that have been put aside for the sake of business. And this fucking something like this can't. It's upsetting as a wrestling
It
fan
should
because
just be eye opening. You bring that up, and like you said, if you're the outside person looking in, you haven't really been paying attention to shit like that. Yeah, you should be wondering, oh, why
it's
can't this
insane.
be easily figured out? It's because the elite, the Young Bucks, Omega, even Hangman have such fragile egos that they can't let this shit go. It's because
Wow.
CM Punk is friends with FTR, who is in the same boat as CM Punk, where you're gonna get xed out because crybaby Young Bucks can't handle the fact that they're getting outsold by another team. And it just so happens that it's FTR, a team that deserves it. They go out, they perform not just in singles competitions. I'm not just in tag team competitions, but Dax Harwood goes out there in singles competitions and blows the fucking roof off the building. It's great. Like, it's so much fun to watch FTR, but I can't do that because the crybaby Cucamonga kids every single week can't handle the fact that they're just playing better than them. It's unfortunate. It's infuriating. I can't
Yeah.
stand it. Like, it's in the same light. Like, the Young Bucks are fun to watch. Like, I understand the high flying, super kicks to the face, jumping, and no selling isn't for everyone. I like it, and it's fine. It's not going to be my first go to when I look for, like, oh, that should be the dream match right there. But I like the Young Bucks, and it just pisses me off that they
Oh
can't
yeah, every
figure
match that
this
I've
shit
seen
out.
with them has been fucking
Yeah,
amazing so
we.
far.
I
Yeah.
mean, seeing I still rant and rave that them versus Penta and Ray Phoenix the two times and the first All Out in the fucking ladder match, and then again in the steel cage match. You could argue that those are the two best matches in AEW history, but it
Yeah.
just sucks fucking ass that they just can't get it done on the professional side. They can't keep relationships. They can't maintain these guys, and they can't have anyone bigger than them. It's their ego is too fragile. They can't have that happen. And when CM Punk sits there and picks guys over them, like I said, when they have FTR is going to be the guy that rides with them. He wants to have matches with Wardlow and MJF and push these guys to the moon. That has to fucking irk them in
And
some
even
sort of
fucking guys
way.
like Eddie Kingston.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
drawing eyeballs away from the elite and the stupid shit that they're doing that no one wants to watch. The fucking elite. I'm sorry, no one wants to watch the Dark Order doing their comedy routine, and then here comes Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. Oh, hey man, hey Adam Hagman, you got a minute? I know we want to act like we're not friends, but we know we're friends. Like, oh, really? You want to sit there and watch that over CM Punk and MJF verbally go back and forth between each other, have arguably a better verbal match than half the fucking matches that they've been putting on with the Dark Order and guys that the Young Bucks actually vouch for and shit like that. I'd rather watch that 10 times out of 10 over one of those. You're going to choose again. Do you want I mean, he just creates natural drama, both MJF and CM Punk. You put them together, you just create pure magic in the three matches that they had. You want to
Yeah.
have
They were
that? You can
absolutely
choose that.
perfect.
You're gonna choose the Young Bucks being shitheads and running. They can have their tag. They're gonna have their high flying tag team matches, but when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, CM Punk has the best matches in AEW so far. I mean, you could. I guess I may be a little biased, and I have to actually sit through it together. But the collective, like, when you get down to the fucking all his matches that he's had, every single one sort of meant something. You can argue that. So, like, he made something special happen in that match. So, I don't know. It's again, it's frustrating. I'm all over the place. Uh, Pissed off.
Yeah, and I feel like
Just
if
yeah,
the writing wasn't already on the walls with, like you said, all these little promos that we're getting
yeah.
with the elite,
And then
we
Colt
get
Cabana comes
exactly, we
back.
get Cole
Yeah,
Cabana on fucking on primetime fucking Wednesday
that
television
should
in a
yeah that.
title match against Chris
And if
Jericho.
that's not an ultimate like fucking middle finger right there, we're actually gonna bring back
In a
market it that it
terrible
yeah,
match.
marketed that like, oh, it's going to be a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. That opened the door for so many possibilities, and I know not none of them were, no, some of them weren't realistic. I think even Jim Cornette was like jokingly like that would be it would be hilarious if they jokingly did Colt Cabana, and sure enough, they seriously put up Colt Cabana,
Yeah.
which in my mind, like I said, you sent it to me in the group chat. I was lucky. I mean, not lucky enough, but I was away from the TV. I wasn't. I had a recording. I just breezed through that match on the DVR. I didn't. I had no
Yeah, it
interest
was
in
god
watching
awful.
that. Just between. I mean, I'm actually looking at it. I was watching, obviously watching Dynamite the other day. I'm sitting here, I'm like, you know what? This might be Chris Jericho's best like stretch of years in the past couple. I mean, maybe since the beginning. I don't know. He's putting together, a lot of goofy shit. Him having that, or it was still a good match, but the idea of him having like dunked in a champagne match or whatever that he had with Orange Cassidy during the fucking pandemic or whatever, those are some small blots, but in general, him just sparking sparking up storylines, creating interest in other guys like Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia and shit like that. You could argue that he's having his best stretch of wrestling in the past couple of years. So
Yeah, he
it made me
definitely
appreciate
is.
Chris Jericho a little bit more for some odd reason. So just he's for him, Moxley. I think they said somebody else all really Brian Danielson taking the helm, taking the realm. There, it seems to me that I think they had some big team meeting. But I mean, again, now I'm just gonna flip on Chris Jericho just now. Him saying that CM Punk was a cancer in the background in the locker room. That's a bad look considering your wife was at the fucking January 6th resurrection or whatever, however you fucking want to say it. So ease up on what you're saying about who you're saying, dude. So just just do that. Also, Fozzy sucks, dude. So maybe you get a better rock band. Either way, in terms of your wrestling, you're doing pretty good. In terms of your opinion, you suck. Keep sponsoring whatever those steaks are. Omaha steaks. That's what he's always promoting on his fucking podcast. So there you go. Either way, uh, again, I guess I'll just wrap it up really quick with just hopefully CM Punk comes back in some sort of way, but the writing on the wall says no. Ace Steel is gone. Colt Cabana back on TV. Uh, CM Punk's store is still up on AEW shop and shit like that. So it's somewhat positive, but I don't know. I feel like as soon as that goes, that's when it all is wrong, all is not well. So again, they need to figure out something. He's in long line of a lot of stuff coming up, like a bunch of, like I said, a bunch of figures are in line for him to come out. It'd be a big blow for them financially if they didn't have those probably go out in some sort of way. Uh, and again, like and I'll even tie it back to again just hating on the elite, hating on the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And if this decision came down to Tony Khan making the final decision, if that's what it is, they're fucking over a lot of people, and not just the people that work, not just like the fans, but the workers at pro. I don't even whatever free advertisement here there. The people at Pro Wrestling Tees, them CM Punk coming back, his inaugural shirt back on the site broke the website, the amount of sales that it is. It is still the
Wow.
number. All of his stuff is the number one sold thing on AEW shop on prowrestlingtees.com. So taking that away, taking CM Punk away out of the wrestling world, you're going to take food out of people's mouths. So I don't know. Again, I can't sit here and I don't work for them in any sort of way. I'm not going to sit here and say their correlation of their sales means everybody else gets paid there, but it would just make sense that when you're having record setting sales that your company is going to do better, therefore you probably do better financially. So I don't know. in my mind, again, CM Punk not just being gone is going to hurt fans. It's going to hurt a lot of people's paycheck. And hopefully, I mean, if he is gone, it makes the upper management realize, wow, we made some sort of mistake. We can't keep relying on these chuckle fucks, these young bucks, on Kenny Omega to keep coming up with these ideas that aren't selling tickets. So, I'm hoping for the best. I'm always going to be a diehard AEW guy. I'm still fucking getting the figures and shit. I just found another Chase figure the other day. I know I showed it to you the other day. I found, ironically enough, finding a CM Punk 1 out of 5,000. So that was pretty cool. I shit my pants. I audibly said, "Holy fucking shit!" in the Walmart when I bought it. Luckily enough for me, there was no small children or whatever by me. Only another adult that was buying toys.
Fuck them kids.
Yeah, he was buying Hot Wheels like a weirdo. Buy wrestling toys like an adult.
Buying Fortnite shit. Buy wrestling
19 Yeah,
figures.
you fucking weirdo. Either way, just again in the I guess I'll just wrap it up with, yeah, not only you're fucking with the fans, you're fucking over a lot of other people's paycheck, a lot of other people's livelihoods. So make the right decision. Cooler heads need to prevail for the sake of just everything being beneficial. I hope, again, and if he's gone in AEW, I hope he's back somewhere. It just doesn't seem like he would be back in WWE. I don't know where it would be. It sucks all around. If he is get bought out, it's stupid. It sucks. And I hate it. So I'll leave it with that. If you have any other final comment, that seems to be wrap it up. But sorry, actually, I guess we can wrap it up and finish it off with Troy's phone call. He had a quick little recap on some stuff. He actually did want me to throw in something he missed out for sure. He said on the phone call, he said he forgot to mention the Green Bay Packers not doing anything. Actually, I got it right here. A lack of movement. I'll say, and I quote from Troy: "The lack of movement showed me two things. One, when the only people Rodgers can trust is Aaron Jones, and AJ Dillon, it's bad. The defense was overhyped, except for Alexander, Jair Alexander, and Gary. I don't know who Gary is. Rashad Gary, maybe, if I'm getting the names correctly. But yeah, that was it. He said Alexander and Gary were the only reliable people on defense. And two, I personally think that it's best for if Green Bay starts trading away people, get more draft picks, and let Aaron Rodgers retire and rebuild around Jordan Love. It showed me Gute. I don't know what that means. Word, just a typo right there. Doesn't give a damn about the Hall of Fame quarterback getting a second Super Bowl. Oh, I guess maybe Gute is their president or something. Maybe one of the guys that makes moves up there.
Yeah, maybe.
Either
I'm not
way,
sure.
I
don't care about the Packers.
Yeah, not really sure about that, but yeah, I think that that makes a ton of sense right there, Troy. Yeah, they clearly didn't give a fuck about Aaron Rodgers doing any sort of thing. They looked at him, they looked at all their fans, they looked at everyone and said, "Fuck you. Everyone around us is good enough for a Super Bowl. Ha ha ha. What are we going to do? We're going to lose to the Lions next week." And that's exactly what they fucking did.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then, like I said, reading the report that they aggressively went for Darren Waller and went for Chase Claypool and got nothing just puts a smile on my face. It warms my heart all so much more. But we'll let Troy, you maybe give you a little bit of quick update on Kentucky and we'll get on out of here on that. How's that sound?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All righty.
We'll always like to hear what our boy Troy's got to say.
Absolutely. All right, take it over, Troy. What do you got for us?
What's up, my favorite podcast of all time? Here's my Kentucky basketball preview. So, Alan, take your fucking notes. We have to start off with injury news. Oscar Sheba is out to start the year. He had knee surgery this past offseason. And Severe Wheeler was going 310% in a meaningless exhibition game and somehow hyperextended his knee. So he's out to start the year. Our schedule for November is Howard, Quincy, I don't know how to pronounce it, Michigan State, South Carolina State, Gonzaga, North Florida, and then Bellarmine. The biggest questions I have with this team right now, who's going to be the guys who step up to to step up to help out with the rebounding and scoring with Sheboy and Wheeler out. And I also believe another question is, can we stop getting injured before February, because we need to get everyone healthy in February to have a good run in the SEC tournament, because everyone improved, including us, but the DAAAgenerates want to win money, and we cannot have CVS receipts of injury lists. And Alan, I hope you took your notes. And I'll see you at the Turkey Bowl, Alan.
Oh, yeah. You will see us
he's
at the
calling
Turkey
him
Bowl. You'll
out.
see Alan at the Turkey Bowl. Call him out. Let him know. Let him know, Troy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Turkey Bowl is on this year.
Absolutely.
It's on Troy versus Gator. Oh my God.
That's going to be
It's
fun.
almost as big as fucking, that's like Ali Frazier right there. Honestly.
Brady
It's
versus Manning.
Yeah, it's fucking big of a matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Gator
Absolutely.
versus Troy. Troy, thanks for the call. I personally won't be making any money off your Kentucky Wildcats this year because they fucked me last year. So I'm not going to waste any of my hard-earned
Once
money
bitten,
on that
twice shy.
basketball team.
Understandable.
Yeah, I might take them again come March Madness bracket. I'll fucking take them to go all the way just for you, bud. But I can't be risking gambling on basketball. It's too dangerous. I'll be in the
Absolutely.
fucking broke house before I know it.
Yeah, no, it's a
You got
dangerous
balls.
one.
If you're gambling college basketball day to day, you're living
as long
life
as you
on the
know what you're
edge.
talking about, that's the only thing. If you're a guy like myself, that's just
No, exactly.
like
Like me,
if you're just a
yeah,
casual and you
crazy.
only watch, the big games and stuff like that, maybe the Blue Bloods and stuff like that, go up against some of the other guys. But yeah, if it's not, if it's not like Kentucky versus Gonzaga, or I don't even know, like Michigan
Baylor
versus,
just beat Miss Valley State 113-57 in college
holy
basketball.
shit.
Jesus.
Oh man.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
there's
guys
that.
like me and Nick, we don't know dick about
Yeah.
college basketball. I can't be gambling on them day to day.
Yeah, it's always a tough one. That's the one where I always rely on like Barstool guys when I listen to the daily shows and shit like that. If we go to like the ESPN Daily Wager shit like that, I need some help when it comes to college ball, for without a doubt. Outside looking in on shit like that, but always gonna be saying go Kentucky. I guess just rooting for our boy Troy, helping out with that. And that was a good call. Good stuff with that.
Dude,
And like I said,
here
hopefully
it
I get a
is.
nice update.
Halftime of the fucking Monday night game. They're showing Dolphins Bears. First highlight they show, Justin Fields, 63 yards to the house, Jim. We're
Love
getting
it.
some fucking recognition, baby. I love it. And
Yeah.
then there we are getting torched on defense. There we go.
Yeah, that Van Ginkel
Justin
guy.
Fields, Monday night prime time. They're showing him off. That's all we could ask for as Bears fans.
Also, again, it's Justin Fields highlights, but then you see Van Ginkel getting a fucking return touchdown. Just like, gross. It's just, again, even if we're pan all the way back to the very first thing that we talked about, it's just shit like that doesn't happen. We're talking about a different score here in the Bears game.
Yeah.
So can't live in that world of what ifs. Again, I think that's been one of the words of the day, besides obviously and other shit like that. So that's been fun. Good episode all around. Almost said it again right there. We'll be coming back. Episode 137, going to be talking about Bears Lions. That'll be fun. And everything else in between, get the games that we like. And then if any other fun, juicy news, maybe some other dumbass is going to say something racist like Kyrie Irving did or something like that. Again, and then if we're going to update on him, he donates $500,000 to the ADL. I hope that's the Anti-Defamation League, and they declined it. They don't want his money.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a big. So when you see $500,000, you're like, no, thank you. That just goes to show you that you made a big mistake, pal, and it seems like it's going to be just unreprimandable. Is it? Maybe that's a word. Hopefully,
that's a word. If not, we just created it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
Yeah, maybe maybe I'm using that word correctly. Who knows? We'll that's up to you to decide. Maybe not. Again, you can just look it up in the dictionary and make sure that the word actually exists. Either way, that has been one of the longest outros that we've had on this show. Good shit over here, 136. We'll see you again, 137, with all the juicy shit again. Thank you as always for tuning in, liking, subscribing, share it around as always. Points bet, code SYS9. Troy, Thank you for listening. Alan, take your fucking notes.
Oh
Everybody
yeah,
else.
fuck you, Al.
Everybody
Make sure
else,
you start Cole
again.
Kmet this week.
Yeah, big
Yeah,
time.
fuck.
Yeah,
Bush.
everybody else, thank you again for listening. Thank you for sharing. Take care. We'll see
Yo,
you.
see you guys later.